Hello, good evening everyone. I'm Dr. Ila Tanna, Associate Professor in the Department of Rog Nidan and Vikruti Vigyan at main campus of Uttarakhand Ayurveda University, Dehradun. In our last lecture, we completed the disease diabetes mellitus. While studying diabetes mellitus, we have also covered what is metabolic syndrome, how insulin resistance and obesity are interlinked to each other, and how it's a major risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes mellitus. We also studied the complication, especially microvascular complication of diabetes mellitus like diabetic neuropathy, diabetic nephropathy, etc. So after completing diabetes mellitus, today we'll study the disease prameha. There is a reason why I completed diabetes mellitus first and then now I have started disease prameha. Many of the Ayurvedic scholars correlate this disease prameha with diabetes mellitus. But let me explain you very clearly. Let me tell you very clearly that prameha is not just diabetes mellitus. Prameha is not a single disease entity, but it includes many clinico-pathological conditions which are more than diabetes mellitus, which actually includes insulin resistance, obesity, prediabetes, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and diabetic complications. When we'll study the classification of prameha, so there are 20 types of prameha have been mentioned by Acharya Charaka. And these 20 types of prameha are different types of clinico-pathological conditions which have been categorized on the basis of specific characteristics of urine, which can be perceived either through physical, chemical, or microscopic examination of urine. And this is the reason many Ayurvedic scholars believe that prameha is a group of obstinate urinary disorders. So maybe at this juncture you won't be able to relate to my words, but we'll study this disease thoroughly, and of course at the end of the lecture you would be able to understand that prameha is not a single disease entity, but it's a syndrome, and uh, actually it can be correlated with many of the conditions like insulin resistance, diabetes, prediabetes, metabolic syndrome, diabetic complications. So diabetes mellitus can be covered under the broad umbrella of prameha. So let's start this disease. We'll complete this lecture in 3 parts. In first part, we'll study nidana and samprapti of this disease. Nidana means etiological factors and samprapti means pathogenesis. In second part of this lecture, we'll study Purva Rupa, Rupa and classification of this disease. Purva Rupa means premonitory symptoms. Rupa means there are some specific spatial uh, sign and symptoms of this disease. And in third part, and the classification of this disease. And in the third part of this lecture, we'll study 20 types of prameha and their correlation with different clinico-pathological conditions and complications and prognosis of this disease. So let's start with the first part of this disease, that is Nidana and Samprapti. I hope all of you are ready. Be attentive. So let's see the Nidana of disease Prameha. So Nidanas for disease Prameha mentioned by Acharya Charak in Chikitsa Sthan are Asya Sukham Swapna Sukham Dadhini Gramyaudaka Nuparasa Payansi Navannapanam Gudavaikrutancha Prameha Hetu Kapakritcha Sarvam. Asya Sukham means overindulgence in the pleasure of sedentary habits. There are some people who are excessively indulged in pleasure of sedentary lifestyle. They live a very lavish, comfortable lifestyle. They indulge very least in physical activity. You would have seen some people, if they are standing, then they'll feel like sit down. If they are sitting, then they'll feel like lying down. And if they are lying down, then they'll fall asleep. So these are the people who are more prone to develop these diseases. Swapna Sukham means excessive sleep. There are some people whose favorite time pass is sleeping. Some people sleeps for long hours in day as well as in night. So such people are also more vulnerable to this disease. Dadhini. Dadhini means Dadhi and Dadhi products means curd and curd preparations like Shrikhand, Lassi, etc. Then one more thing is Payansi. Here it is mentioned Payansi. Payansi means milk and milk products. Here I'd like to quote one research which I have gone through. Uh, Dr. Neil Barnard from George Washington University conducted a research by a team of American doctors, and he concluded that diabetes can be dramatically checked or even can be cured by switching to a low fat vegan diet. Now, this concept of vegan diet is distinct from the concept of vegetarian diet so far that it excludes not only meats but also all types of animal origin products like egg, milk, etc. All of you know that milk is an animal origin product. So this concept of vegan diet, it excludes even the milk and milk products. So this milk and milk products, curd and its preparation, they are the main cause for causing this disease prameha. Navannapanam. Nava Anna means newly harvested grains. In Ayurveda, it is mentioned then that the grain should be used after it has become 1 year old. If you consume newly harvested grain, then it vitiates kapha dosha. It aggravates kapha dosha. So this freshly harvested grains, panam refers to excessive consumption of alcohol. It's also main cause of this disease. Guda Vaikrutam means jaggery and jaggery preparation. These are also mentioned as a etiological factor for disease prameha. Then Gramya Auduka Anuparasaf Payansi means the meat soup of aquatic, domestic and marshy land animals. So these all factors, along with these factors, the factors which are responsible to aggravate kapha dosha are mentioned as main nidanas for disease prameha. If we categorize this all nidanas, then we can categorize it into two parts. Some factors are related to dietary articles and some are related to lifestyle factors. So if we see the dietary factors, then milk and milk products, curd and its preparation, jaggery and its preparation, excessive consumption of alcohol, newly harvested grains, and meat soup of aquatic, domestic and marshy animals. So these are the dietary factors which are responsible to cause prameha, and asya sukham and swapna sukham means excessive indulgence in sedentary lifestyle and physical inactivity and excessive sleep. These are the main lifestyle factors which are responsible to cause prameha. You can see here, these are the dietary articles which are responsible for disease prameha, and these are the lifestyle factors. If we talk about lifestyle, then there are some researches which show that physical activity causes decrease of insulin resistance, means physical activity decreases insulin resistance and increases peripheral utilization of glucose. On the contrary, physical inactivity causes insulin resistance and leads to obesity, which is the main cause for metabolic syndrome as well as for type 2 diabetes mellitus. Along with the dietary factors and lifestyle factors, Acharya Charak in Charak Samhita Nidan Sthan 4th chapter has mentioned some mental factors to cause this disease. Udvega and Shok. Udvega means anxiety and Shok means grief. This anxiety and grief are responsible to cause Vatash Prameha, and Krodha, that is anger. This is responsible to cause Pittaja Prameha. So these are related to stress. If we talk about the role of stress in diabetes mellitus, then stress is a potential contributor for developing diabetes mellitus, especially for the chronic hyperglycemia. If you see, to counteract the stress, a body responds against as a fight or flight phenomena. So, either to flight or to fight, the body needs energy which comes from glucose. So, in order to counteract stress, our body releases some stress hormones, and this stress hormone releases glucose into the bloodstream. And this is how this glucose is utilized to counteract the fight or flight phenomena. But if you constantly remain in stress, then your body maintains the chronic state of hyperglycemia. And this chronic state of hyperglycemia is a main risk factor for development of diabetes mellitus. So this is about the nidana, that is etiological factors of disease prameha. We have seen that how this etiological factors of prameha, which have been categorized under dietary articles, lifestyle factors and stress, and how these factors can be correlated with the etiological factors of diabetes mellitus and metabolic syndrome. Now let's see the samprapti of this disease. So in Chikitsa Sancharak has mentioned this samprapti in a very superficial way. So we'll study this samprapti first, and after that in Charak Nidan Sthana Acharya Charak has given the samprapti of each type of prameha in very detail according to Shadvid Kriyakal, according to its evolutive process. So first we'll study this superficial samprapti which is described in Chikitsasthan. Medascha mansancha sharirajam cha kledam kafo bastigatah pradushya karoti mehan samudirna mushnaihi taneva pittam paridushya chapi क्षीणेषु दोषेषु अवकृष्य धातुं संदूष्य मेहान् कुरुते अनिलस्य दोषो हि बस्तिं समुपेत्य मूत्रं संदूष्य मेहान् जनयेत् यथास्वम्. So here Samprapti of Kafaj Prameha, Pittaj Prameha and Vataj Prameha have been mentioned superficially. Aggravated Kapha vitiates Meda Dhatu, Mansa Dhatu and Shariraj Kleda located in urinary system and bladder and causes different type of Kafaj Prameha. Similarly, Pitta aggravated by hot things, it vitiates those elements and causes different types of Pitta dominant Prameha. Whereas when this Pitta and Kapha dosha becomes relatively diminished, then Vata dosha gets aggravated, and this aggravated Vata dosha it vitiates Oja, Majja, and Lasika, and it draws this Oja, Majja, and Lasika into urinary tract and causes different type of Vataj Prameha. Now let's see the Samprapti of each type of Prameha as per the Shadvit Kriya Kala, which is mentioned in Charak Nidanstan 4th chapter, that is Prameha Nidana. So this is the Samprapti of Kafaj Prameha. Here we can see this box is Sanchayavastha of this disease. So any Samprapti starts from indulgence of Nidana. So here common etiological factors for all type of Prameha are we have discussed like Asya Sukham, Swapna Sukham, Dadhini, etc. These are the common etiological factors for all types of Prameha. If we analyze these Nidanas, then these Nidanas mainly vitiates Kapha dosha and it creates Medo Dushti. It also creates Khavaigunya in Medo Vahasrotas. We'll see how. We all know that all this Nidana, if we see the Panchabhotik constitution of these Nidanas, then they are actually Jal Mahabhut Pradhana. They are Apya and Kledakar Nidanas. So, it causes aggravation of Sleshma dosha. Now, are you able to recollect the Medovah Sroto Tushti Nidana? If you can recollect, then you should remember Avyayamat Diva Swapnat Medhyanam Chati Pakshanat Medo Vahini Dushyanti Varunyas Chati Sevanat. These all Nidanas are covered in common etiological factors of Prameha. Avyayamat means lack of exercise, which is mentioned here as Asya Sukham, means excessively sedentary lifestyle. Swapna Sukham means excessive sleep. Sorry. Avyayama Diva Swapna means day sleep, which is covered under Swapna Sukham. Avyayama Diva Swapna Medhyanam Chati Bhakshana. So, in this Nidanas, the Medokar Dushti Nidanas have already been covered. Varunyas Chati Sevana means excessive consumption of alcohol. This is also included in Prameha Nidana. So, these Nidanas causes Khavaigunya in Medovah Srotas. Since there are some fatty Nidanas, so it causes Medovah Dushti, vitiates Medo Dhatu. So during Sanchayavastha, what happens? This Nidanas being Apya and Kledayuk, Jal Mahabhut Pradhana, it causes aggravation of Sleshma Dhatu, vitiates Medo Dhatu and creates Khavaigunya in Medovah Srotas. Now a specific characteristic of Sleshma and Meda has been mentioned in the Samprapti of Prameha. Here about Sleshma, it is mentioned that Bahudrava Sleshma means Sleshma is excessive in quantity and liquid in nature. Whereas about Meda, it has been mentioned that it is Bahu and Abadha. Means it's excessive, and Abadha means it is loose. And since it is loose, it causes the body, flabbiness of the body. So we'll see why here Sleshma is Bahu Drava Sleshma and Meda is Bahu Abadha. So if we analyze these nidanas, then these nidanas are Jal Mahabhut Pradhana, Apya and Kledakar. So these nidanas aggravates Kapha dosha and causes Agni Mandya. And due to Agni Mandya, the Kapha which is being produced during Madhur Avasthapa, this is apakva, immature. And this immature kapha, apakva kapha, it's being retained in amashaya and becomes vidagdha. If you see the rasa of vidagdha kapha, it is lavana rasa. And Acharya Charak has mentioned that lavana rasa is kledakrit. So, lavana rasa of vidagdha kapha gives excessive liquidity to Sleshma here. And due to excessive liquidity, it becomes Bahu. So, this Bahudrava Sleshma, through Bahudrava Sleshma, Vidagdhavastha of Kapha can be imagined or can be understood. If we see why there is Bahu Abadha Meda, then Agni Mandya at Dhatwagni level causes formation of immature dhatus. So, your main dhatu which is involved, the main anchor seat of this prameha is Medo dhatu. Main dosha is Medo dhatu. So, here Meda which is being formed is aparipakva, immature. So, due to its aparipakva avastha, it's not compact, it's loose, and since it is loose, it can't give compactness to the body, rather it makes body flabby. So during Sanchayavastha, this nidanas causes Bahudrava Sleshma, Bahu Abadha Meda and Kha Vaigunya in Medovaha Srotas. Now this complete set of body is responsible, is vulnerable for manifestation of disease prameha. So sanchaya is the stage of making body susceptible for manifestation of disease prameha. Now the person who are with positive family history of prameha, they are given this complete set of body in which there is Bahudrava Sleshma, Bahu Abadha Meda and Kha Vaigunya in Medo Vahasrotas. They are given this complete set of body in heritage by their parents or grandparents. So in these patients, the role of Nidana starts hereafter. But in those in which the family history for prameha is negative, the role of apatya or role of nidana starts right from the beginning, right from creating our body susceptible for this disease. I hope this is clear. The stage of sanchayavastha is clear. Now, with such a body set, if someone consumes excessive amount of Kaphakrit ahara vihara, then what will happen? There will be Shipra Sleshma Prakopaha Prag Atibhuyastva. Means the Sleshma Kapha dosha will quickly get aggravated because it's already excessive in quantity during Sanchayavastha itself. Prag Atibhuyastvat, that means it's already excess in quantity during Sanchayavastha. So there will be Kshipra Shleshma Prakop. Quickly it will get aggravated, it will get provocated. Now during Prasaravastha, Sharire Shipra Visrupti, Sharira Shaithilya. We know that Meda here is Bahu Abadha Meda, and due to Abadha, looseness, it causes flabbiness of the body. Due to flabbiness of the body, this provocated Shleshma quickly spreads to all over the body through circulation. Now, while circulation, it will first gets mixed with Meda Dhatu. Medasa Saha Mishri Bhava. Why it will get first mixed with Meda Dhatu? Due to Samana Guna Bhuishthatvat. It means due to similar in qualities with Meda Dhatu and due to similar Panchabhutik constitution. So this Vikrita Shleshma first will vitiate Medo Dhatu, will get mixed with the Medo Dhatu and will vitiate it. Now this Vikrita Shleshma and Dushta Meda will come into contact with all the Dhatus, and Apya part of all Dhatu will get vitiated by Vikrita Shleshma and Dushta Meda. Now this vitiated Apya part of all dhatu which are being vitiated by Vikruta Shleshma and Dushtameda is termed as Kleda here. So there will be Sharira Kleda Dushti, and if you remember the normal function of Mutra, urine, mentioned by Acharya Vagbhat is Mutrasya Kleda Vahanam, means this excessive amount of vitiated kleda is being excreted in the form of urine. So this is the reason during Vyaktavastha the person excretes Prabhuta Avila Mutrata. This is the Pratyatma Lakshana of this disease. This is the reason why there is excessive formation of urine. Why patient passes excessive quantity of urine and this urine is turbid. Prabhuta Avila Mutrata means the urine which is being passed by this patient is excessive in quantity and turbid in nature. So, and last is the Bhedavastha. All of you know that Bhedavastha is the stage of complication. Here, Acharya Sushrut has mentioned that Sarva eva pramehastu kalena apratikarinah madhumehatva mayanti tada asadhya bhavantihi. Means all the pramehas, either kafash, pittash or vatash, if they are not being treated timely, are not being managed timely, then they are converted into madhumeha, which is a type of vatash prameha. They are converted into madhumeha and becomes incurable. So one of the complication of kafash prameha is vatashmeha, that is madhumeha, and some kasadi upadrav, which we'll see while discussing complication part of this disease. So I hope the samprapti of kafash prameha is clear to all of you. Let me just summarize once. During Sanchayavastha is the stage of making body susceptible for manifestation of disease prameha. So what happens here? Due to nidanas, there will be bahudrava shleshma, bahu abadha meda, and these nidanas will cause khavaigunya in medovaha srotas. Now, with such a complete set of body, such a person, if consumes excessive amount of kafash, ahara and vihara, then there will be kshipra shleshma prakop, since the shleshma is already excess in the quantity during sanjayavastha. Due to flabbiness of the body, which is due to abadha meda, this provocative shleshma will quickly get spreaded to all over the body through circulation, and it will first get mixed with Meda Dhatu. Since Meda Dhatu is similar to quality of Kapha dosha and similar in Panchabhautik constitution with Kapha dosha. So first this Vikruskleshma will get mixed with Medo Dhatu and it will vitiate Medo Dhatu. And this Vikruta Sleshma and Dushta Meda will come into contact with all the Dhatu, and Apya part of all Dhatu will get vitiated and converted to Kleda. And this Kleda will be excreted through the uh, urine. And this is the reason during Yaktavastha, the person will uh, present with Prabhuta Avila Mutrata, means excessive and turbid urine. And during Bhedavastha, the complication of this disease will get manifest like Batach Prameha, that is Madhumeha, and some other Kafach Upadrava of this disease. So this is all about Samprapti of Kafach Prameha. Now we will see the Samprapti of Pittach Prameha. Now let me be very clear that in every type of Prameha, the main dosh involved is Kapha dosha, and the anchor seat of this disease is Medo Dhatu. The main dosha is Medo Dhatu. So Sanchayavastha is the stage is same for every type of prameha. During Sanchayavastha, the body will become susceptible for manifestation of this disease. There will be Bahudrava Sleshma, Bahu Abadda Meda, and Khavaigunya in Medovah Srotas. Now, if such a person, if excessively consumes pitta prakopach ahar vihara, then there will be Kshipra pitta prakopa. There will be the pitta will aggravate it very quickly, provocate it very quickly, and due to flabbiness of the body, it will quickly get spread to all over the body, and it will first it will get mixed kapha due to similarity with meda will get mixed with it, and pitta due to similarity with shonit dhatu, rakta dhatu, it will get mixed with rakta dhatu and it will first vitiate rakta dhatu. Now this vikrut sleshma, vikrut pitta, dushta meda and dushta rakta, this all will uh, get localized in urinary system and will manifest in different forms of pittach prameha. So this vikrut sleshma, dushta pitta, dushta meda, and this dushta rakta, they will get they will give manifestation to 6 types of pittaja prameha. Same is with Vatash Prameha, Sanchayavastha is same, and if such a person consumes excessive amount of Vatach Ahar Vihara, then there will be Kshipra Vata Prakopa. During Prasaravastha, there will be Kshipra Visrupti of Vata in all over the body, means Vata will spread all over the body due to flabbiness of the body, and um, it will first get mixed with kapha with medas, and this vikrut sleshma, dushta meda and vata, it will vitiate 3 dhatus, lasika, oja, majja, and they will draw these dhatus in urinary systems and it will be excreted through urine. So thus it will give manifestation to 4 types of prameha. So this is the samprapti of Vatach prameha. So there are total 10 dushyas are involved in samprapti of prameha and 3 doshas. So this is what being mentioned in this shloka. Kafas sapitta pavanascha dosha medosra shukrambu vasalasikaha majja rasaujah pishitam cha dushyaha pramehinam vinshatireva mehaha. Doshas like kapha, pitta and vata. So there is involvement of three doshas, kapha, pitta and vata. But remember well, main dosha is kapha dosha. And there are total 10 doshyas which are being involved in some prapti of this disease. And these 10 doshyas are rasa, rakta, mansa, meda, majja, shukra, oja, vasa, lasika, kleda. I hope all of you are clear. Let me repeat once again. Rasa, rakta, mansa, meda, majja, shukra, oja, ambu and vasa. ठीक? Let's see the samprapti ghatak of this disease. If we see the involvement of dosha, then prameha is tridoshaj vyadhi, but it's mainly kapha dominant tridoshaj vyadhi. 10 doshyas are being involved in this disease. We have already seen it. Srotas, then Medovah Srotodushti and Mutravah Srotodushti is the main dushti which occurs in the samprapti of this disease. Srotodushti type is Ati Pravritti. It's mainly Ama Shadbhav Vyadhi in which there is Medo Dhatvagni Mandya. Sanchar is through Rasavahini and Mutravahinyah. Ashrayasthan is Mutravah Srotas and Avayav which is being involved in this disease is Basti. So we have completed the Nidana and Samprapti of this disease in this part of the lecture. In the next part, we'll study Purva Rupa, Rupa and classification of this disease. Thank you.